Hey, how's it going? It's May 21st, 2019. I just got back from my first phalloplasty consultation and I'm pretty excited about it. I went and I saw Dr. Ray, who is the lead plastic surgeon on the unit for Cedars-Sinai, and I had a really great experience. I've met with him before for my hip surgery. We also talked about that, so maybe I'll sneak that in here. But ultimately, we had a conversation about phalloplasty and what they have to offer. I went in super overwhelmed, thinking I was very unprepared and was truly laughing about it. I went in having a vague idea as to what my priorities are in terms of things like being able to stand to pee, penetration, sensation, anesthetics. But I'm not even 1,000% positive that I have the exact order that I care about them in, and ultimately I didn't really feel like I did a lot of research. But what I've realized is that I tend to think that I can never have too much research, and so I often either over-prepare or freak myself out for nothing, and truly this is a long process. I went in and I said that my goal was to finish all my surgeries by 35, and that is a reasonable goal even if there were to be complications, according to Dr. Ray, so I'm really excited about that. We discussed basically the different opportunities for where you can get a donor site, the thigh and the radial forearm. I am most likely going to go with the forearm because I care a lot about sensation. The length and the girth will work within the measurements that I'm looking for. We're anticipating 5 to 5.5 inches before any sort of pump is put in. I likely will go with the pump method, not the rod, and that this will be done in 3 stages. What they do that's very different compared to anyone else to their knowledge is that instead of covering up the arm scar with a thigh piece or from somewhere else, they actually use right underneath the butt cheeks. And what ends up happening is basically the scarring is hardly noticed because it's your butt, and it's supposedly not too painful to have that done. I asked, if they would level with me. I was like, look, is this going to be painful when I have to lay on my back from surgery? But apparently, they're doing really well with it. There's only been one person who really complained that they were uncomfortable and they were able to adjust and fix it. But it means not having a giant scar on the leg. And personally, I really find that appealing. So I am definitely considering going with them. Part of what I love about Dr. Ray is that he has incredible bedside manner and his heart really is in the right place. I haven't had consultations with other surgeons yet regarding this, but he really cares about making sure that your transition is going how you need it to go, and anything that he can do to help make the process smoother, he will. We talked about how, my surgery for my hips wasn't covered, how, he's looking into doing an appeal for me. We did talk about how liposuction for the area that's concerning is probably just the best way for me to go about it, but that ultimately he isn't sure how happy I really will be. And even if I choose to go forward with a hip surgery, it's likely not going to get covered. So I have a lot to think about in that regard. My next steps for my phalloplasty process are to make an appointment with Dr. Garcia, who's the head of the Cedars-Sinai program, and I've already done that. I have my appointment on July 22nd, and I've let them know that I definitely want to have a sooner appointment if I can. Dr. Ray is saying that he would be willing to help me get my surgeries done as soon as possible. We talked about electrolysis. I'm not a very hairy person, thankfully, but I'm gonna need electrolysis because I personally don't want to have hair on my penis. That's just what I don't want. In terms of the tattoos, so we talked about the scarring and tattoo. I have this little scar that I got back in, some of you know, some of you don't, that I have a background in culinary arts. So that and having pets is, scarring happens. And so that, although it looks artificial, there's no real way to know whether it's damaged anything. And also I'm right-handed, so people tend to go with their non-dominant hand, where I have my New York tattoo. So I might be saying goodbye to the New York tattoo and having to get it somewhere else. That's okay. The reality is that I just don't want a tattoo on my penis, so I would have to get it removed most likely. So we'll see. Dr. Garcia is the one who's going to be able to tell me more about the hookup with my urethra lengthening, the pump. We'll be able to talk more directly to which of my donor sites is the best and how to proceed forward. I've definitely been told not to go and just do electrolysis. I would never do that before going and meeting and talking with him. So I'm excited. I'm moving forward with them. I asked basically how far out we would be for stage 1. Stage 1 is not going to include a hookup for me to be able to urinate standing to pee, so that actually would happen in stage 2. But that's okay. I just ultimately, I would rather do more steps and have less complications, especially with the rest of my health issues, as opposed to doing 2 and not having everything turn out the way I would like. So I'm now going to be on a mission to look for results and talk to people who have gone through Garcia's team. So if you have, and you're open to talking and sharing your experience with me and some photos, or even just your experience in general, I would super, super, super appreciate it. It really just makes the most sense, probably fiscally and support-wise, for me to look at a team in LA and a team in New York. So I'm hearing good things about the Langone team. I think that is where I'm going to be booking other consults, but ultimately, given that they are using a different donor site for covering up the arm with the butt cheeks as opposed to the leg, I mean, that's really enticing. That's like something to solidly think about, and they've done dozens of surgeries and people are ultimately happy. They're fixing a lot of Delgado's mistakes, the surgeon in Miami that is having a lot of complications and troubles. So ultimately, the big things I look for are knowledge, that they're trying to do something that's groundbreaking to make it better, that they have incredible bedside manner, and that they're patient and willing to work with me. The wait time for phase 1 would be basically 2020, and that's not so bad. So he even said that he might be able to try to get me in sooner. So I definitely have a lot to think about. I'm going to try to make these appointments in New York. If I can somehow magically get in for when I'm in New York in June, that would be incredible, but otherwise I'll have to plan another trip out so that way I can make that happen. But I've officially started my process. I'm really excited. I definitely know that I will feel tons of overwhelm and there will be lots of ebbs and flows within this process, but I also know at my core that my first memory of trying to pee standing up was when I was 5 years old. I've always wanted this. I've always needed this. This is who I am, and I'm one step closer. So I'm excited. If you have any questions at all about my experience during my consultation, please drop them below. I will absolutely answer all the questions that I can that are relevant, and I will make a group. If you've been watching my videos or you know me at all, you know I'm a very open person. I'm doing this in part largely for education and help other people. So I will absolutely have a group that will be private where I will be posting my experience as I go forward. I probably won't make the group unless you all want to see my process, starting really from now going forward. If you do, let me know and I'll make the group now, but I was going to sort of wait until I at least had my surgeon picked out and my date picked out, so that way it really just, made sense. But let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.